Hello everybody, hope you're well. If you haven't seen by the intro, this is the new LE20 from ENGWE, and it's a beast of a cargo bike. And the first question I had when I was putting it together and got it out of the box and saw the information is, why hasn't anybody done this before? This is a great all-round bike, and what I mean by that is you've got this massive area on the back which is adaptable. You can put a crate on there. You can put all your fishing gear on, your camping gear. You can put a basket on the front and put your gear in there. You can have a separate seats on this. I'll clip some pictures in now of all the accessories you could have on this. We've got these detachable panniers. They're just unclip and you can take them off. And you still have a seat. Down here on the bottom, you can have some footrests. So if you want to carry a child on it, you can have some footrests. And the frame and the seat has a barrier around it as well to make it safer. This one's come with one battery, but you can have a separate battery here, and with both batteries ENGWE say it'll do about 200 miles. Now you always have to take that with a pinch of salt because it's probably a real light person on level ground on setting 1, and most people that have these are up and down the gears and up and down the power settings, so it will probably do less than that on real life tests and depending how heavy in the terrain you're using. But to have two batteries, and both the batteries plug in as well, it's not a case of swapping the batteries around. This one just has the one battery in here, but this here where the battery would go is a container, which is really useful for putting stuff in. I've put some tools and bits and pieces in there and the tripod, so I like the idea of that. And of course you don't always have to use the two batteries if you don't want. It's got the usual ENGWE super comfy seat, lots of travel on here, and there's travel on the handlebars as well. And those that know these bikes will be saying, you've put the bars on the wrong way around. I've purposely put them like this. They're slightly more forward if you have them the other way around. They are folding bars, but I like the idea of the bit of easy rider, laid back, get them quite extended, laid back, super comfy. They still fold, and it's not a folding bike, they still fold over there, but normally they'd fold over to the side of the frame if you have them on the proper setting. But it's up to you, you can move them wherever you want. And it's got the adjustment in here as well. There's lots of adjustment in there. But I like the idea of the setup and beg. And sort of easy rider type position. Lots of travel on the seat. Aluminium frame. And it's a mid-drive motor as well with a torque sensor in it as well. So the motor's not in the hub. And it's a lovely smooth drive. You probably have to turn about half a pedal, maybe a bit less, for the motor to understand that you're pedaling and move along. 5 power settings, as I say, aluminium frame. It comes in 2 colours, but I like this metallic blue. It really looks nice out in the sunshine. You can see all the metal flake in it, but they do a grey one as well. As I say, the frame's all aluminium. This is a UK legal bike, so it has a 250 watt motor. If you're looking in other countries, they do other variations of this with bigger motors. But in the UK, we have to still have the 250 watt motor. And the configurations and the different things you can have on the back are endless. There's like a crate and 2 seats, or just the footrest or the panniers. So you can use it for so many different things. It would be great for delivering food. There's a basket that goes on the front as well. It'd be great for camping, be great for going fishing, or putting a couple of kids on the back. There's lots of videos out on YouTube of people with kids on the back taking them to school and back. It's a really, really well thought through bike, and I love that it's got a centre stand, so you can load it up with all your gear. I normally have to carry a big rucksack to carry all the camera gear when I do these videos, but these panniers that they sent with me are really good quality and they're easily fit on the back. But let's just pop back to the cottage and show you how it was delivered and how it went together. So let's show you how it was delivered and what come in the box and how it went together. All looks good in there, all well packaged. Hell of a big box. Oh, it's a big bike. That should be the tools. I'll only use the tools that it comes with, and a pair of scissors to cut the tire wraps. So that's the tools it comes with. A pair of pedals, 2 sets of brake pads, I presume they're spares, a few screws, a fuse, some sort of sensor, UK charging brick, and the standard quality instruction book these are. They really are good, these, one of the better ones, because it gives you a description and all in picture format as well. Normally people would cut down here, undo the front of the box and pull the bike out. But I like to keep the box in one piece because I put all the bits and pieces back in the box. But this is going to be an interesting one to lift out. Well, that wasn't too bad. That was easier than I expected. Let's cue the time lapse and cut some tie wraps. So far so good. No scratches, no marks. I love the centre stand. It's got an extra pulley on here to keep the tension because it's such a long bike. This only comes with one battery, but you can get a separate battery which fits in there. Lining this up, this actually swivels, so you can hold the forks and swivel this, and then you tighten these screws, Allen screws. It's definitely easier to tighten it upside down to put the pedals in, front mudguard and front wheel. But apart from that, it's gone together quite well. That's interesting. I'm about to fit some panniers to the back. It comes with 2 seats on it, and you can get crates and all sorts to go on here, and like a cage to have somebody sat on it. And I thought, oh, I'm going to have to tackle it to bits and undo the screws. And I took the side panel off thinking I needed to get in there. But underneath there's just this one screw there. This pushes backwards and lifts out. So it's nice and easy. So if you want to put anything on, you don't have to take the side panels off. You just have to undo that one screw. So there we have it. All went together well. Didn't need to use any of the screws or anything. And put the panniers on as well, they're good. You just turn the 2 clips on top and you can take those off. And as well as having a big pocket, they've got a side pocket as well. Just got the battery out to charge it. This one only comes with a 1 battery. You can have 2 batteries. And if you don't get if you get the one with just the 1 battery like this, you get this container which I've put the tools in. If you want to put a baguette or something in there, I don't know what else you'd store in there, maybe a flask. But it's certainly a decent sized bike, isn't it? Let's get back out there. Front and back hydraulic disc brakes. The good old 7-speed Shimano gears that you see on most e-bikes, and they're pretty faultless as well. If you do have a problem with these once you've been riding it for a while and the gears keep slipping or won't go into gear, it's the cable that's stretched, and all you have to do is tighten up the adjuster on the back derailleur, and that's it. Don't start moving the screws or anything. They're pretty faultless of these. It's got indicators on it. We'll have a look at those in a minute. Nice simple display. Comes with a bell, and it has those palm pads on the handlebars as well. Quite a bit of adjustment in here. This is adjustable up and down. As I say, I've got this raked back slightly because I like this laid back position on this type of bike. This battery is locked in and it comes with a key, but you don't need the key to actually run the bike. Some people don't like having to put a key in and switch it on, so the key is only to switch this on and off. They do with this bike as well. You have to buy an extra product, but there's a fast charger unit for these batteries, and it'll charge the full battery in about 2.5 hours, which is great. I mean, I just don't know why more bikes don't do that. Full charge on this, on the standard battery charger that comes with it, it's probably about 5 hours. But if you've got the 2 batteries and you want to charge them, if you buy the fast charger, you can charge these both batteries at the time it would take to charge that with the standard battery charger. I like the idea that if it doesn't come with a separate battery, you can have this case. You can get quite a bit of stuff in there, tools and various bits and pieces in there. Lots of adjustment on the seat, and the seat has the clip underneath so you can get to this or get to the auxiliary battery. It's got suspension in the seat, no suspension in the back, but I don't think it needs it. Backlights with indicators. I don't know if you'd use them, but it's good to have. I think that's a really neat, smart mid-drive engine. So we haven't got the motor in the hub, the motor's actually here. So when you paddle backwards, you don't get any drag on the wheel. And as soon as you put half a turn in, the motor understands that you're working, the centre kicks in and gives you the power assist. Comes with a bell, as you'd expect. You'd certainly get 2 kids on there, and those auxiliary seats that come with it are quite smart. It is a long bike. It's got a rust and a oil-free chain, and it has a separate pulley on there that slides up and down this as you're changing gear as it goes up and down the derailleur. Because the bike's so long, it has a long chain. If it didn't have this on, your chain would be flopping about all the time. Mid-motor and drive centre on there, and there's a centre on the back wheel to understand the wheels spinning to enable you to get the power to move forward. Spoked wheels, 20-inch wheels with 3-inch wide, and quite smooth tyres, not chunky tyres, because I would imagine most of this will be moved around town and nip into the shops. But on these gravel traps I've been out on today, it's been absolutely fine. Obviously you can take this off and put various different baskets on there. The front shocks are lockable, and it comes with a front light that works off the same battery. There's no auxiliary battery for these, all works off the main battery. I like the metallic blue, but it does come in a grey as well. There's all that external aluminium welding. There's a place for a water bottle on there, and as I said, there's so many accessories and configurations you can have for this. But those panniers are great. It means I don't have to carry a rucksack with all my camera gear today. These are just covers to cover the back. You can unscrew those, they come off easy enough. I quite like them on there. Hydraulic disc brakes front and back. A real nice simple display. Up and down the power settings, and you press and hold the positive button for it to go into the light mode, and then there's various other settings of how far you've travelled, your maximum speed, etc., and the on and off button underneath. That's your indicators if you want to use them. And as I said, those standard Shimano gears. I like those palm guards on the actual bars, and the way I've got it set back, the laid back look, I think is quite smart. It's definitely comfy to ride. Now with it being a cargo bike, it's great it's got a centre stand, because if you're packing that full of gear and putting kids and all sorts on the back, you don't want it falling over. So having a centre stand is brilliant. And it comes with front and back mudguards that are plastic, and they're quite long mudguards as well. It's a bit muddy today and the bike stayed clean. The pedals are not folding pedals, and they've got some like grip tape on there. Not comfy enough. I suppose with having folding handlebars makes it narrower. You could fit folding pedals, you can buy those, they're not expensive. If you want to store this somewhere and you want a narrow bike. So obviously it doesn't bend in the middle because it's a mid-drive motor. Do check out all the other videos about this on YouTube. There's videos from around the world of people using this for different things. For camping, for taking the kids to school, for fishing, you get all your fishing gear on there. But I think it'd be a good all-round bike. If you want to put that on back of your camper van, it is reasonably heavy, but not over heavy. I was surprised lifting it out the box, it wasn't heavier. But if you was to park in the countryside and you wanted to nip to the shops, you certainly got plenty of luggage on there to fill up with all your supplies and everything, and have a good ride round. And of course, if you have both batteries, you'll get some decent distance on it as well. You can charge the battery in the bike, or it undoes. There's a key on the other side, and there's an indicator on here when it's been charged to show you how much power is going in. And this side here, this little rubber cover, there's a switch under there, which is really clever. I like the idea of that. Normally you'll have a key in here to switch it on and off, but that's just to take the battery out. In there is a hidden little power switch, so you just switch the switch off if you want to leave it somewhere, and then people can't ride away on it, use the power. I like that idea. When you do have both the batteries on, it lights up on here to show you both batteries and how much power is in each battery as well. And that tells you how far you're going, what range, how much power you've used, and the 5 different power settings on there as well. But I suppose like me, most people get it onto 5 and off they go. It's a 250 watt total UK legal bike. I don't know if you can unlock the motor. We don't go into that because there's more and more people having problems with that if they unlock the motor. The front shocks, you can lock them. So if you don't want to have the shock absorbers, you can lock those off. A pretty nice bike, isn't it? I think they're on offer at the moment. The price when these first come out was quite expensive, but they're on offer at the moment. I don't know exactly what the price is, Usually when we get these bikes, they're just coming to the UK and they're just being promoted, so they haven't sorted the price out. But check the description below and there'll be the price, all the information, all the specifications, and if there's any offers as well. So there you have it, the UK EU version of the LE20 from ENGWE. In different countries they do different bikes because there's different power regulations with the motors, and I think you can get one up to 750 watt, which would be great, but we can't have those legally in this country. But to be fair, this is doing well. For all this extra weight and everything else, it's not too bad. And I don't think, I mean, I've got all my camera gear in it, I don't think it's over heavy. It's aluminium, which makes a big difference, and if I didn't have the panniers on with all the carrying gear, the camera gear, it'd be a lot lighter. But it's doable. I could easily lift that on my bike rack on back of my camper van without too much trouble. And of course you can take the battery out if you want to make it lighter. But what a great all-round bike. I can see people using these, taking the kids to the school, going to work on it, having the 2 batteries and having the fast charge option. It means you're not going to charge it every day as well for your normal commute. You could stick it on back of your camper van or in the garage of a camper van or a motorhome and do your visiting around, go and do your shopping, whatever. Or you could actually go camping on it. A real versatile bike. Well done, ENGWE. I'd probably say this is one of my favourite cargo bikes. That just leaves me to say thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.